So that'll be the 7 o'clock.
So I'm gonna start clicking my pen. I'd like to go ahead and call the Chickasha City Council to order. Need a roll call, please.
Hatchett,
Here.
Irving,
Here.
Ginn,
Here.
Hebblethwaite,
Here.
Smith,
Present.
Alexander,
Here.
Burris,
Here.
Southard,
Present.
Grayson.
Here, we'll have the prayer by Charlie and the pledge by Clark.
Please join me in prayer. Heavenly Father, we just take a moment and say thank you. There's so many blessings in our community. We have a lot going on. We ask you to be with us as we deliberate about matters and represent the citizens, and ask that you be with us throughout this week and this year that's still pretty new. We're grateful. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. We'll move on. I don't have any citizens' communications, so
No,
we'll
sir.
move on to 3A, presentation update from Jim Cowan, Chickasha Economic Development Council.
Okay, good evening, Mayor, Council. Thank you for the opportunity to provide an update to you all, an economic development update. As part of the contract that the Chickasha EDC has with the CIA, our goal is to come and do regular updates with the council to inform everybody about what's going on. Not just you all, but everybody that's here in these public meetings. We are blessed with the EDC that several of you attend the EDC meetings. A couple of the CI members that meet immediately after the EDC will come to the EDC meeting, and then Councilman Southern is actually an EDC voting member. So we feel like for some of you that see these meetings all the time, the information may be a little, okay, I've seen this, but what we want to do is get as much of this out to everybody tonight as possible. So first of all, I want to make sure that everybody knows that the Chickasha Economic Development Council meets on the second Tuesday of every month at 7:30 in the morning in the boardroom there at the chamber. Those meetings are open to the public. We have a schedule. Basically it's always the second Tuesday. So we really enjoy the fact that the EDC meetings are very well attended. A lot of people that are just curious about what's going on will come and listen and hear. So we really enjoy that. I do have another EDC board member here tonight. Seth D. Hart will be the chair of the EDC coming up this July. So glad to have him here tonight. The EDC board is represented by pretty much the biggest employers in town. All of our schools have representation on the EDC board. If anybody ever has a question of who's on that board, you can go to our website and get all that information so everybody can see exactly who is there. So in your packets, there was a sales tax report and just a couple of highlights on this. And the very first one I'm looking at is for the fiscal year that ended at the end of June 2025. Matt Brooks, that works at the EDC, puts together these Chickasha by the numbers. What we're trying to do is measure what's happening with our local economy. How are our businesses doing? How many building permits were issued? How many housing permits were issued? How many people are coming into Chickasha on a regular basis? So the reason I included this first one, which was the year end, even though that ended at again, June 30th of 2025, the sales tax collection for that fiscal year for the city of Chickasha was the largest in the history of Chickasha. Now we know that with the water treatment plant, that has added to the amount of sales tax collection going. But it's also important to notice that, our sales tax collections since 2020 have increased every single year. When you're looking on this report, it also will show that in the state of Oklahoma, we rank number 25 in terms of sales tax collection. And lots of other information on there. As we put these out, if you ever have any questions, always glad to go over those with you. The second EDC report there, the Chickasha by the numbers, is for the reporting period January of 2026. And even though it says reporting period, it's from the Oklahoma Tax Commission. That information reflects sales tax collections in Chickasha for the last 2 weeks in November of 25 and the first 2 weeks of December. And that's kind of in the footnote there. During that period, over $1.4 million was collected. That was the highest sales tax collection ever in the history of Chickasha. And it's kind of good news, bad news. It's always good news when we're reaching historic levels in terms of sales tax collections. However, as I'm sure Mr. Crosby would point out, our sales tax collections up until this period have been off a little bit, around 4 or 5%. So as we see a really big month, the biggest ever, like we have there, it's encouraging, but we're also very cautious. We're hoping that the next report that comes out, that'll be the very end of the Christmas season, that it also shows historic growth. So even though we did see those type of numbers, we're also just, again, we want to see if that trend continues. As we all know, this city, as a municipality, you have to have sales tax. But businesses also have to have sales to generate those sales tax. And we know there were times during this past 6 months that there was some tough months for some of our businesses. We certainly acknowledge that. But we hope that we can see some continued growth as we look at the whole fiscal year at the end of this year. The third page that I have there is a media recap for 2025. And it was a historic year for Chickasha to be positively in the news. And in that recap, you can see that places like the Wall Street Journal, CBS Morning News, Amazing America, the Journal Record, the Oklahoman, the Southwest Ledger, we had multiple stories helping us tell everybody about the good things happening in Chickasha. Lots of TV coverage, as well as you see down at the bottom. And how that is relevant is we're trying to answer the question, why Chickasha? People can go anywhere they want, right? They can go shop anywhere. But as we try to get them to come here, whether they're moving their business here or whether they're just coming to shop, we want them to come pay money into the businesses that make our town go. On this handout that's brand new for you tonight, this Why Chickasha, the EDC's goal is to answer that question. We want it to be very simple and easy to understand why we want someone to either come shop here, come move and live here, or come move their business here. You know, so the picture there is so reflective of what an incredible year it was last year. Yes, we had a press conference last June that the governor attended. Yes, we had huge retail announce, and as you see there in the picture, there was groundbreaking. But we can't let up. It's something that we have to continue to work on and promote our town. And you know, one of the best ways to do it is if we're all doing it together. On the second page here, Mayor Grayson, during his State of the City last fall, he said that there were 3 words that summarize what Chickasha was all about: thriving, unified, and unstoppable. I loved it. I was so proud to hear those words coming from the leader of our city. The unified, I think, is probably the one that is the most powerful, because I really believe that when all of our groups are working together, that we can make historical things happen in our town. The next page is the retail leakage, okay? So why do people leave Chickasha to go spend their money in another town? I don't know if any of you have heard this or not, but there's a lot of people in Chickasha that'd like to see a Lowe's or Home Depot.
Never heard it,
I was
Jim.
gonna say, what is that?
So the very first one, when it talks about big box stores, Lowe's and Home Depot are in that. 265,000 trips last year. People left Chickasha and they went to Lawton or Mustang or Norman or Oklahoma City, and those stores were their big stopping place. That represents over $9.6 million. People that live in Chickasha went and spent their money somewhere else. So I can just assure you that this is at the top of our list. It has been for quite some time. I do believe at some point that is something that our city will see. The question is when. And we want to work with our current developers as well as we want to work with any new developers to get that in as soon as possible. We don't want this people that live in Chickasha to have to leave here to get the products that they need. The one thing that did surprise me a little bit on this leakage report was the grocery category. It's showing that almost $5 million was spent at grocery stores outside of Chickasha. So that could be at Sam's, it could be at Costco, Whole Foods, whatever, Crest, whatever the reason may be, they chose not to buy their groceries here. The next page is probably one of the most important pages that we can have right now. If we want to attract national retail like we have, they have to understand that we're not just a town population-wise now of over 17,000 people. We're a trade area that's over 120,000 and we are growing. This information on here shows the map of where people come from a minimum of 12 times a year. And it has grown. Meaning there are now people from Duncan that come into Chickasha to shop. They may be going to Starbucks, they may be going to Chick-fil-A, but I hope they fill up with gas. I hope they go and see one of our boutiques in downtown and shop. But the point is people are driving to come to Chickasha, and that's only going to increase as we see more retail. This helps us land national retail, but it also means people that don't live in Chickasha are paying into that sales tax that helps make our city run. I expect this map to grow. We know it will grow. I'd like to refer to the area northeast of Chickasha, the Blanchard, Newcastle, Tuttle area. I kind of feel like it's a tidal wave. There's so much coming our way. It's just a matter of time before more and more of those people come here. I think Mayor Grayson has said it before, we're going to grow. The only question is, do we want to have a say in how we grow and make it where it works best for our city? Our next page here, it talks a lot about who all comes to Chickasha. The place to be in 2025. It shows the statistics from the people that go to the fairgrounds, the sports complex, but it also shows the traffic from Highway 81, Highway 62. All of this data comes from Placer. Placer is an AI software that we've been using since the end of 2021. Basically, what it does is when you allow an app to track you, it tracks you. Okay? So you have to opt in. If you don't want it to track you, just close your app and say, don't track me. But what Placer does is it gives us statistical data to allow us to know where people are coming from, how long they're staying, and what businesses that they are going to visit while they're here. It's so important during the Festival of Light for us to know if we're doing some marketing, trying to get people to come here from Lawton. Well, did it work? We tried to get them here on a Tuesday and a Monday night because those are off nights. Did it work? So Placer has been a very valuable software piece that we've been using since the end of 21. I won't do a deep dive on tourism, but I'll tell you this, is that the State Department of Tourism is touting that when they spend advertising dollars to bring people in the state of Oklahoma, that for every dollar they spend advertising Oklahoma outside of Oklahoma, the rate of return is $6, meaning every person comes in, for every dollar we spend in advertising, we're getting $6 back. That rate of return is just fantastic. On this page, you see over $26 million spent on all those spent by all those visitors in our town. That makes a huge difference. The second to last page here is, when you're thinking about where our visitors come from, everybody would say fairgrounds, sports complex, Festival of Light, food truck championship. But hospital plays a big role. Our courthouse plays a big role. Things that people have to come to Chickasha for. Well, what we need to do and what we are doing, and we want to continue to get even better at, is when those folks come into town, we want them to feel very comfortable shopping while they're here. And who knows, maybe they eventually want to relocate a business here because they visited the hospital or they've been at the courthouse. Or any of the other things on here, USAO, Canadian Valley Technology, they all play a huge role. So retail success, this last page. In the state of Oklahoma, our McDonald's is a top 10 McDonald's in the state of Oklahoma, and so is our Arby's. That's a big deal when chains are looking at Chickasha. When Whataburger is considering Chickasha, they're going to look and see, how are these other places doing? And the fact that we have 2 fast foods that are top 10 is a big deal, but we can also see, what is all this going to mean when all this other retail comes in, and then what else is coming along with that? Now, I would not be doing my job if all I did was focus in on retail. We've made the case and explained why retail is so important.
Thanks.
Have to have it. But we also need great jobs. We need new businesses coming in that pay more than the retail segment. This is a magazine that I worked with Chet Hitt on, and this was specifically designed to be used when we did the recruiting trip to California. So the EDC paid for this advertising to be put together. And what we're trying to do is tell our story from a manufacturing standpoint. You know, when you look at this page here, one of the most exciting things is when the state of Oklahoma and the Department of Commerce says, hey, we have incentives for businesses to come to your town. It's good anywhere in Oklahoma, but you can tell businesses about them. And the best part about it is their rebates. It's not upfront money. It's telling companies that if they come here, there's a quality jobs program, and if you have at least 50 jobs and your payroll, you have to have an average wage of a minimum of $43,000 a year and offer health insurance. Over a 10-year period of time, the State Department of Commerce does what they'll do is they refund that withholdings tax that they pay. So again, I want to make sure you understand saying the word withholding tax, and then it's a rebate back. It's not an upfront check coming into town. That's a big deal. Over a 10-year period of time, a company that meets that criteria could get back as much as $3 million of their investment in 10 years. That gets people's attention when we're talking to them in California about why they should come to Chickasha. As I wrap things up here, I want to tell you about something that I think is absolutely one of the biggest assets that we have in our town, and it's our people. And especially when our people are going through our school system, Chickasha schools. I see continued progress there. Very proud of USAO, the four-year university that brings people in here, and then you look around town and you're like, wow, Manish, how'd you get here? Oh, I came here for USAO, and then I got a job in Midwest Cooling Towers. But then the other one is Canadian Valley Technology. The trend continues to grow that the trades are so important. Kids that can go through while they're in high school and get information about being an electrician, being a welder, and they get the training that's needed. But then on top of that, through our Career Tech system, Career Tech will go out and do free training at manufacturers, our local manufacturers. You don't have to be brand new. They'll come to any of our local ones, and if they need help with training on a particular piece of equipment, Career Tech will send someone to another location to get that training, just so that they can go in and help our local manufacturers, whether they've been here 40 years or 4 days. Career Tech is a huge asset for us here in Chickasha, and when you go back to the mayor's words, unified, it takes us all understanding our role to make economic development happen in Chickasha. We've got a great amount of momentum right now, and I'm very excited about it. I could probably have taken up your whole evening tonight, and I see smiles saying thank you for not taking up the whole evening, Jim, but I would be glad to answer any questions that you have. Charlie?
Jim, a couple questions, and feel free to reach out to Matt if this helps. But I heard you mention that a lot of dollars apparently leave our community to purchase groceries in another community. And then I heard you mention, hey, there's probably a lot of people from, say, Duncan that come here, and maybe it's Starbucks or whatnot. And I thought you said, I hope they go by one of our boutiques. My questions are, how do you know about the grocery deal, but not about the boutique deal?
Well, we can drill down on all that, Councilman. Placer allows us to know where they go and visit. On that gap report, what we were trying to show is what are the major things that, as an EDC, we need to be going out and trying to get. You know, it's looking at retail, but I can tell you right now, I've talked to 2 different people in the last few months that are interested in childcare. Because it's something that our town needs. Whether someone goes out of town to get her groceries or not, we can track everything. We can track more than you could ever imagine.
My second question is, not knowing, you mentioned, I believe, that the larger employers are represented on the EDC board. Is that by design, or is that just, it's happened that way? Or how about a citizen? Is any citizen in town eligible to come to your meetings, get acquainted, and be a part of that board?
They can come and to any of our board meetings, and if they're ever interested in joining the board, they could certainly reach out to us and let us know. I'd say it's kind of by design. It's also, you know, you look around and it seems like there's a lot of the same people do a lot of the same things. And there's several of you here in this room that I know you're part of other boards or other organizations, and that's just who you are. And a lot of that's with the EDC too. But we do want to make sure that there's manufacturing is represented on the board, that banking is represented, that retail, that healthcare, you know, a little bit by design, but a little bit of it is also, they're usually the one that are most interested in what's happening with the EDC. Because it directly affects their business.
Thank you, Jim.
I had a question on the first page that was in our packet about the traffic. And you explained it was, Placer app? Placer app. Mm-hmm. But how do they know who's from out of town and who's not? Is it by your area code on your phone, or?
It's by, right now they can tell, Placer can tell us by the phones, is it, Matt?
So Placer detects, Placer assigns a home location based on just where the phone stays for long periods of time. So like when it detects that a phone has like, when it stays in one place overnight for 2 weeks, that's probably their home location. And it doesn't say their precise home location, it randomizes their home location.
Okay, that's the reason I was asking that question, because I have a 580 area code on my phone, and it says Marlow when I call somebody, but I'm in Chickasha.
The other thing Placer will do is it will tell us how many people are going to a certain area, and they'll quickly identify if they're going there every day, Monday through Friday, that's not a visitor, okay? That's someone that works there. So for example, we have people that live in Blanchard or some other town, and then they come into Chickasha to work. Placer allows us to narrow that down so we can track true visitors and not people that just work here but live in another town.
Yeah, because I know many times at night I'll drive downtown just to see how the businesses are doing. And I didn't know if it was counting me as an out-of-town visitor or what, but it makes sense.
You don't count, John.
Yeah, I'm a 0 on there.
We got anything else for Jim?
Jim, I don't really have any questions, but I want to thank you for your enthusiasm for our city. I know you have caught some flack over the years and been called Chickasha's cheerleader. We need some pom-poms. Erica, if you have any,
I can get some.
get some contacts, so you'll have your own set of pom-poms. But I personally, myself, and I'm sure most people up here on this council, if not all of us, we appreciate your cheerleading for Chickasha and going out and finding these new businesses coming to town. And just the things that you do for Chickasha to build or to bring new growth and to help existing businesses that are already here, it's greatly appreciated, sir.
Yes.
Well, thank you. But it's, as we talked about tonight, it's everything. It's everybody
It's
working
everywhere,
together.
yes.
If
It
we didn't
is.
have you all, the city manager, the city staff,
But just like the mayor, kind of as our spokesperson and as the voice of Chickasha as a mayor, you kind of have that position as with the EDC and with the chamber. And so you're the face of Chickasha when you're out there representing us. So thank you. So smile.
thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Great job.
Thank you.
All right, now on to council communications.
I received a message today from a concerned citizen about Freeway Ministries. Apparently, they're opening, from the information she got, they're opening a rehabilitation housing facility for men over in the 1000 block of North 11th Street. And she was concerned that the citizens had not been contacted or made aware of what was going on over there. And I didn't know, and I've talked to you about the zoning. It's not going to be a church, it's going to be a housing facility. And she was just concerned that, you know, the citizens should have some type of input as to what goes into their neighborhood. So that was basically what I had today.
You've been talking to Jessica about it?
Is Jessica not thing?
Yeah, I
Okay.
talked to her before the meeting.
You said it's on the 100 block, 1000 block? What'd you say?
The 1000 block
1000 block.
of North 11th. You have to go all the way past the railroad tracks on 6th Street before you can cut back.
I'll have to go check it out. Charlie, you got something?
I do have something, Mr. Mayor. I bring something from a longtime Chickasha citizen, probably grew up here. I assume most of his career was here. He may even be retired now. And the gentleman told me some time ago about his concern of Ada Scipio on the east, let's say, boundary of Ada Scipio, where it would contact what we call Grand Avenue, I believe. So the width of the road there is pretty nice. It was put in with curb and gutter some time ago, but not originally was it supposed to have a turn lane. And then somewhere along the way, we took a 2-lane road and cut it in thirds to make a right turn lane, a left turn lane for anybody going eastbound, and then a single lane from anybody that wants to be going westbound. And in that spot, it's abbreviated so much that when all three kinds of traffic happen there, it's not adequate. And the suggestion from this person was just to go back to normal driving protocol and not try to divide a 2-way street into 3 parameters there. And I see the person's point. I've driven it a lot, each direction, different kind of turns, going away from home, coming back home, and whatnot. And I bring it for that gentleman, and I agree with him.
And it's marked in it, Charlie, and I use that term very loosely, because if I remember right, it's pretty faded.
It's pretty faded,
East Grand.
and it's no big deal at all when you're the only vehicle that wants to make your choices about which way to go.
And it'd be a great idea if it was wider, but it's not wider.
I don't know if we have the opportunity to make it a little wider there, and then we would preserve the turn lane that may be essential during certain times of the day. I've not caught it with any backups. The problem I catch with the backup is when the railroad crossing is a problem. But this, that I wanted to bring tonight was this gentleman's concern about the T in the road at the east end of Scipio.
Okay, thank you, Charlie.
Thank you.
You got anything else? All right, no other communications. We'll move on to item 4A, consent docket.
Motion to approve consent docket is presented.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Hatchett,
Yes.
Irving,
Yes.
Ginn,
Yes.
Hebblethwaite,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Alexander,
Yes.
Burris,
Yes.
Southard,
Yes.
Grayson.
Yes. Item 6A, discussion, consideration, and possible action to approve an oil well drilling permit for Camino Resources for well Cactus 168. This well site being part of Southwest Quarter, Section 21, T79-R7 West, Grady County, Oklahoma, to be located within city limits.
Make a motion to approve the oil well drilling permit for Camino Resources for well Cactus 168.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Irving,
Yes.
Ginn,
Yes.
Hebblethwaite,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Alexander,
Yes.
Burris,
Recuse?
Southard,
Yes.
Hatchett,
Yes.
Grayson.
Yes. Item 6B, discussion, consideration, and possible action to approve grant of easement from Chisholm Trail Development LLC in favor of the city of Chickasha for a 15-foot water line easement located within Chisholm Trail Development.
Make a motion that we take action to approve a grant of easement from Chisholm Trail Development LLC in favor of the city of Chickasha for a 15-foot water line easement located within the Chisholm Trail Development.
Second.
Discussion.
Mr. Mayor, is this for the city to develop, or is this just that we would accept what they are installing for their development?
I believe it's,
An easement for the city. They will install the water line themselves.
Thank you, Jim.
yeah. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Ginn,
Yes.
Hebblethwaite,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Alexander,
Yes.
Burris,
Yes.
Southard,
Yes.
Hatchett,
Yes.
Irving,
Yes.
Grayson.
Yes. Item 6C, discussion, consideration, and possible action to approve oil and gas lease with Camino Natural Resources following a public auction pursuant to Title 64, Sections 1081 and 1082 for the following described property: Rolls Hill Cemetery, Block 307 and 318 of Section 33, Township 7 North, Range 7 West, Grady County, containing 4.8341 acres, more or less.
Make a motion that we approve an oil and gas lease with Camino Natural Resources following a public auction pursuant to Title 64, Sections 1081 and 1082 for the following described property: Rose Hill Cemetery, Block 307 and 318 of Section 33, Township 7 North, Range 7 West, Grady County, containing 45.8341 acres, more or less.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Hebblethwaite,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Alexander,
Yes.
Burris,
Recuse?
Southard,
Yes.
Hatchett,
Yes.
Irving,
Yes.
Ginn,
Yes.
Grayson.
Yes. Item 6D, discussion, consideration, and possible action to approve an oil and gas lease with Camino Natural Resources following public auction pursuant to Title 64, Sections 1081 and 1082 for the following described property: 1, north 50 feet of Lot 1, south 15 feet of Lot 2, all of Lot 3, and north 10 feet of Lots 4, 5, and 6, Block 2, Chickasha Old Town Edition, Section 28, Township 7 North, Range 7 West, Grady County, containing 1.0939 acres more or less. 2, a tract in Lot 4, Block 2, described at the beginning of 79.1 feet of southwest corner of Lot 4, thence north 75.9 feet, thence east 55.4 feet, then south 36 degrees 8 minutes west, 93.9 feet to the point of beginning. Chickasha Old Town Edition, Section 28, Township 7 North, Range 7 West, Grady County, containing .0821 acres more or less. 3, lots 5, 6, 5, 6, and north half of Lot 7 and 8, Block 100, Chickasha Old Town Edition of Section 28, Township 7 North, Range 7 West, Chickasha County, or Grady County, containing 1.433 acres more or less.
Motion to approve oil and gas lease with Camino Natural Resources as presented.
Second.
Discussion.
I had a question. Is that actually Old Town or is that Oklahoma territory?
Original township, I believe.
There we go.
Regional Township.
Yeah, your OT.
Good man.
Learn something new every day. So yeah, just replace what I said with original township.
Yes, sir.
We have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Besides Charlie graciously correcting me. Roll call, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Alexander,
Yes.
Burris,
Recuse.
Southard,
Yes.
Hatchett,
Yes.
Irving,
Yes.
Ginn,
Yes.
Hebblethwaite,
Yes.
Grayson.
Yes. Item 6E, discussion, consideration of possible action to approve ordinance 2026-06, an ordinance of the city of Chickasha, Oklahoma, amending Chapter 18 of the Code of Ordinance, Emergency Management and Medical Services to create Article 4, Incident Response Cost Recovery, authorizing the cost recovery from at-fault parties for fire department responses, establishing cost recovery rates, providing for appeals, repealing conflicting provisions, providing for serviceability, and declaring an emergency.
Make a motion that we approve ordinance 2026-06 as presented.
Second.
Discussion.
I have a question on how we establish actual cost for those situations.
There's, Mr. Councilmember, there is a fee schedule that is in your, I don't have it in front of me, I apologize. But all of this is based off of kind of what Lawton's doing, but really what Tulsa is doing within their fire department. And they're charging the at-fault party for the wrecks. And so based on, there's level 1 through 4 responses. 1 being a very basic response, which we would charge $710, all the way up to an extrication using heavy rescue tools, which is $1,865 on that. So basically, it would fall to me to determine what we did on each call and how we would charge.
Right. Well, my thought process on it was, I mean, I reported a trash can fire, and we had 3 ambulances, a pumper truck, and a ladder truck show up to the trash can fire, and I wouldn't want somebody to have to pay $2,500 just because we sent all those units out.
Yes, sir, I
when they
understand.
weren't
Yeah, so
required.
it'll be based on what we do. If we actually use the extrication tools to pop a door, cut somebody out, and then at that point, we would charge the $1,865.
Okay.
I did a little, I was trying to look a little bit of this up because I didn't understand. At first, I kind of seen that. So you'll charge the insurance carriers.
Yes.
Is that correct for people that have insurance and people that do not?
Will not get charged.
Incur fee? And something else that I noticed there, like in Tulsa, I did see that in some of the surrounding communities in Tulsa doing this. But a lot of them, it was saying that the third-party vendor administers the process. Do you?
That is a third-party billing company. We're planning on doing it in-house. So we could potentially do it with our billing company for EMS, but we would give up, there's about based off of what Lawton is doing with theirs, they have a 10% collection rate in Lawton based on what they're receiving back on these. And so I didn't figure giving 2% up of our 10% would make very much sense, and having a third-party billing company do it when we could do it. We actually have about 10 wrecks a month that we would actually bill on this, anywhere between 8 and 10 wrecks a month in the city limits. Most of our wrecks happen outside the city limits, in which we wouldn't be able to utilize this ordinance. Did I answer your question?
Lots of questions, Chief.
Perfect. Let's-
I guess just in a nutshell, there's a handful of things here that you need this done because we don't have the ability to charge currently.
Correct. We do not
Okay.
have, unless we used our third-party billing company that utilizes
We've
EMS.
not any time in the past been
No, sir.
charging for certain
No, sir.
things. These would be bona fide services that
Yes,
people
sir.
would ask for in a response.
They're services that we're already conducting.
Okay. Why would we exclude government vehicles? They have insurance too.
Are we gonna charge ourselves if a police officer is in a wreck? Would we charge our own city? That would be my question, is why would we not, why would we charge ourselves?
That would be a citizen level question that people would go, gosh, if they're gonna tag my insurance with it, why wouldn't they tag the other? It's the insurance companies either way, I believe, are in business.
I understand.
Would that be proper
And
to exclude
that would be
that?
something that you could possibly amend this for if you wanted to.
Would
at
anybody
some
that
point.
holds a motion consider that? To drop section 18-70?
I believe I'll leave my motion as it stands, because I believe what Chief Tony is saying is to exclude the government basically from this fee would affect all the taxpayers. It would affect you, me, everybody. Because we basically, as taxpayers, are paying for those insurance premiums in a roundabout way through our taxes that we pay. So anytime that a government entity would have an accident, we would just be incurring more of a cost than what we're already paying on the taxes that we pay to basically pay for that government. So I believe I will leave my motion as it stands.
Well, thank you for explaining that.
And I think that's what Chief Tony was trying to say. Basically, we would just be adding more cost to the taxpayer by charging the government entities.
Yes, that's very accurate. Because as our premiums go up, obviously, we have to recoup that in some way, shape, or form.
Have some level of the department maybe been considering this for a while?
This is something that was brought up about 6 years ago when we thought we were broke. And then it was actually brought forth again a couple months ago by Councilwoman Hebelwaith. And so I'm just presenting it to you. After doing a little more digging, it's up to you guys on whether you want to move forward with this or not.
I'd just like to reiterate what Kia said, it's not gonna be the people that don't have insurance. They're not
It
gonna
is
get
the
charged. It's-
at-fault party,
Right, and it's.
if they
it's
have
the-
insurance.
Correct.
We will only bill insurance.
And another, which I get, the passing on some of the financial responsibility and making sure that the taxpayers here aren't solely burdened and the financial impact that it could have to help. But if you said we're only doing 10, filing maybe 10 claims a year and.
That would be about 120 a year, 10 a month, 8 to 10 a
Okay, I'm
month.
sorry then, I was thinking.
So, and there's a collection rate in Lawton of about 10%.
Okay. But in here, it puts a lot of, I noticed, like assessment, may appeal through the fire chief, it seems like it adds a lot of responsibilities for the fire department, and just making sure that it's not an administrative burden for the fire. I mean, it wouldn't be, this is pretty common, it's not something that.
It'll be something that would fall on myself and Jackie in the water department. It wouldn't fall on anybody else.
I think a lot of it, Kia, may fall kind of like when y'all file medical claims. Once you know those codes to submit to the insurance company, it's a matter of a few minutes to pull up the insured's carrier, or insurance carrier, and submit the information of the at-fault party with the code.
It just seems that the fire chief would be making a lot of that designation.
Based on how the ordinance is written, that is correct.
I just didn't know time-wise, is that something that, I saw that some of these other municipalities use, like I said, the third party to
Correct,
do
yeah.
a lot of that. So is that creating a administrative burden, or is it, would it be beneficial? That's what
I'm here to do whatever you guys ask me to do.
Well, one thing about it, if we do start having many more accidents, it may be something we look at in the future is, just spreading that burden out to somebody else. But like you said, if there's roughly 8 to 10 accidents a month that this would apply to, it should be relatively
So,
a small amount of time.
Just figuring this out, we figured out on average, we would probably gain about $8,000 a year. Like, once you average it out, figure a 10% collection rate and everything else, we figured about $8,000. Rich and I figured that out right before the meeting to kind of what we would be about. So roughly $8,000 a year. So,
I'd be curious to revisit this in a year and see what it's 8,000 versus how many man hours.
I can tell you
have
how
invested.
Lawton does theirs. They just roll theirs over because their collection rate is so low. They just roll theirs over every year, almost like a savings account. So that way they can, if a piece of equipment needs to be replaced for something that, and we are constantly updating our equipment. And so it would be something that could be done that way. That's how I envision it potentially happening, but ultimately it's up to you nine.
Is there a chance with this in place that providers of insurance would look at Chickasha and Chickasha residents, and that would increase rates among everybody?
I don't know how insurance companies operate. I would say that it is definitely a potential. But I don't know the inner workings of an insurance company, so I can't tell you definitively, but I would say that it was, and I can promise you, based on past experience, that an individual's premiums, if they are charged, their premiums will go up based on, if there's a $1,800 charge on top of if we're doing extrication, the car's probably totaled, but whatever the payout is, and then you add $1,800, that cost is always going to be, based on my experience with insurance, going to be passed forward.
But this is not just the citizens of Chickasha. This is
Correct, this would be-
whoever is in a vehicle that's at fault, no matter where they're from.
Yes, ma'am.
And
So-
if they're at fault, their insurance is going to go up with or without
Right.
this
With or
fee.
without this ordinance.
Correct.
Speak from experience.
Well, I mean,
Is
because
this-
I've personally had an accident and the person wasn't from here. And then a girl I work with had an accident. They weren't even from the United States. I mean, they were here visiting, but I mean, I'm just saying, it's not going to be just Chickasha citizens that are going to have to
It'll be
deal with
anybody
this.
who is at fault
Right.
in the city limits.
If we do approve this, I'd be curious to reassess this in a year and see how it all played out and what the pros and cons were, and see if it's something we need to do away with or continue.
I
I
would
wish I
too.
knew more as far as the insurance, like if the insurance carriers even, most of them carry this type of coverage, because I think it would be a separate coverage.
I don't know enough about insurance, like I said.
And that may be why Lawton's got only 10% recovery rate.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we revisit this because if we collect $8,000 a year for 100 years, they won't even buy half of a pumper truck.
It won't, but it buys a lot of ambulance tires.
Buy a lot of ambulance tires.
With that in mind, would you consider adding that to the motion, that we are kind of doing it on a one-year trial basis?
I don't think you
David,
can
something we
make
can put in?
ordinances temporary.
No, my opinion is you could not legally do that, but you can, of course, if you decide to pass it, revisit it in a year. You absolutely have that right.
Chief, don't run rages yet. Pardon me. Is this ground vehicles only? And the reason I ask this question is in June, we're going to have another air show. And you guys will be detailed and have crews out on the airfield. Somebody balls one up, you guys are gonna go out there, and you have to extricate them? Are we charging those air crews and airplanes?
I read the ordinance as ground vehicles.
Okay, I don't see it that way.
Yeah, Amanda, you're the,
It states responding to motor vehicle and other incidents. So I
So
think the
I guess
other
potentially-
So it
incidents
could
would
be a
fall.
house.
Yes.
I would think that if you're responding to an airplane crash on the ground, that it becomes a ground vehicle at that point. Just saying.
I may be too soon, Mayor.
But is some of
Noted.
this at your discretion?
Potentially, yes. Amanda, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So then theoretically, the chief would have discretion on whether or not to charge on
And this would be
an
some-
accident.
Plus, it's an insurance company. It's
Well, and
Right.
we do, and Shay's back there, she knows, it's a huge fee that we pay for insurance coverage during the air show. So I just wanted to make sure that we're all on the same sheet of music. If somebody has a boat problem at Chickasha Lake, what are we gonna do there? Does this apply to that as well? That's actually in a different county, I think, part of it.
That would be outside the city limits in a different county.
Yeah, but you guys would respond to something perhaps? Okay.
I would treat that as if we were on a wreck on Highway 81 in Ninnekal.
Yes.
It'd be outside city
Okay.
limits, and therefore,
Okay,
Then again, if it wasn't city limits, it'd still be the insurance company and then nobody if they didn't have insurance.
correct. We will only be billing insurance companies.
So
for the
this would
at-fault
allow
party.
us, heaven forbid, we have an experience like, I believe it was Weatherford did last year with the large, I think it was Air Liquide, the liquid propane truck.
That would be a hazmat incident. We already charged for hazmat incidents.
Thank you, chief.
Any more discussion? Roll call.
Alexander? Yes.
Burris,
No.
Southard,
yes.
Hatchett,
Yes.
Irving,
Yes.
Ginn,
No.
Hebblethwaite,
Yes.
Smith,
No.
Grayson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
6F, discussion, consideration, and possible action to approve Resolution 2026-06R, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Chickasha, Oklahoma, Grady County, State of Oklahoma, amending the master fee schedule for municipal services to establish incident response cost recovery rates for fire department response pursuant to Chapter 18, Article 4 of the City Code, and establishing an effective date.
Make a motion that we approve resolution 2026-06R as presented.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Burris,
No.
Southard,
Yes.
Hatchett,
Yes.
Irving,
Yes.
Ginn,
No.
Hebblethwaite,
Yes.
Smith,
No.
Alexander,
Yes.
Grayson.
Yes. Item 7, motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second?
Adjourn. I'd like to call the Chickasha Municipal Authority to order. Need a roll call, please.
Hatchett,
Here.
Irving,
Here.
Ginn,
Here.
Hebblethwaite,
Here.
Smith,
Present.
Alexander,
Here.
Burris,
Here.
Southard,
Present.
Grayson.
Here. Item 2, consent docket.
Motion to approve consent docket is presented.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Hatchett,
Yes.
Irving,
Yes.
Ginn,
Yes.
Hebblethwaite,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Alexander,
Yes.
Burris,
Abstain.
Southard,
Yes.
Grayson.
Yes. Item 4A, discussion, consideration, and possible action to award CMA-2504 HVAC maintenance agreement to D-Hart Air Conditioning, Inc. as the lowest best bidder in an annual amount not to exceed $59,750, and authorize the mayor to execute the maintenance agreement.
I make a motion, we award CMA 2504 HVAC maintenance agreement to D-Hart Air Conditioning Incorporated as the lowest best bidder in an annual amount not to exceed $59,750, and authorize the mayor to execute the maintenance agreement.
Second.
Discussion.
Mr. Mayor, how long would we, is it 1 year renewable? Or how?
Yeah, I believe it's every year, right? Neil?
Annual.
It's
Every
annual.
1 year.
It's 1 year, can be automatically renewed for about 2 years.
3 years total?
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Any more discussion? Roll call.
Irving,
Yes.
Ginn,
Yes.
Hebblethwaite,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Alexander,
Yes.
Burris,
Yes.
Southard,
Yes.
Hatchett,
Yes.
Grayson.
Yes. Item 5, motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
We're adjourned. I'd like to call the Chickasha Airport Authority to order. Roll call, please.
Hatchett,
Here.
Irving,
Here.
Ginn,
Here.
Hebblethwaite,
Here.
Smith,
Present.
Alexander,
Here.
Burris,
Here.
Southard,
Present.
Grayson.
Here. Item 2, consent docket.
Motion to approve consent docket is presented.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Hatchett,
Yes.
Irving,
Yes.
Ginn,
Yes.
Hebblethwaite,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Alexander,
Yes.
Burris,
Yes.
Southard,
Yes.
Grayson.
Yes. Item 4, motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
We're adjourned. Thank you.